Test, test. What up, Floaty? What up? Good, dude. It was fine. Hanging out with, who did we see there? We saw District Sound, sorry, District Labs, Kaylin. We saw Baines. So we met a bunch of people there. It was good. It was a good, good fun evening. Yeah. How you doing? How's Germany? We're about to get started. Part of the reason I'm going live is, you know, I like the social pressure of people watching me so I can get this shit done. Oh, shit. Ooh. It's freezing. We have thick layer of snow for a bunch of snow. We like the vibe a lot. That's good. Alright. This is some good Mario music. This is some good Mario music, but we're gonna get into this mix. I think we should just start mixing. What do you think, Floaty? We just start mixing. This is the song we're gonna mix. I got two songs. I'm gonna see if we could do a little bit more. We might get into, I don't know, there's some other songs that might need mixing. I'm just planning on mixing for like an hour or two on here. I think there's an album called Fresh and Hyped. It seems like a hip-hop album. We'll see, like a pop or hip-hop album we can start working on after these two songs, but we'll see what happens. You know, fuck around, find out kind of deal here. As always, I'll always warn you when I'm about to turn up the limiter so I don't blow your ears out. The song I mixed came out next week on Friday. Nice, hell yeah. About damn time. Congratulations. Okay. Here it is. This is the song that we're mixing today.
Let's
All right. Most of these songs are like fairly okay. I have a feeling that we're gonna kind of broaden out the low end and the top end a bit more. I think there's like a little bit of cloudiness in the upper mid range. I think we can utilize a little bit more lower mid range to kind of give it a little bit more chest and power. There's a lot of not intimacy, but there's also a lot of like, people don't think about like low mids is like super important for any sort of genre really. For slow songs, it's where intimacy comes in. For like big songs like this, or just like energetic songs like this, that's where like a lot of power comes in. It's a really delicate balance to properly utilize the low mids in mixes, and I think it's usually, typically speaking, during a mixer's what the fuck is going on? Within a mixer's like lifespan of like mixing, kind of like what understanding of mixing. Usually while like a mixer is kind of learning how to mix, low mids is like the last thing people get right, and it's the most difficult to get right. Usually people get the low end and like the top end right pretty quick. They start to figure it out, but mids in general, especially low mids, people just do not get right for years. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm gonna show you what right sounds like, and then we'll compare. Typically for something like this, it'll probably end up becoming wider, although I don't think I have any use for any widening tools here. Yeah, I think we could get the drums to smack harder, and then we'll get it louder too. We'll get it louder as well. So that's just my general thoughts. I know people want to hear what I'm like, my first impressions on a song. By the way, those are all things, like I let it play for like a solid 30 seconds to a minute. Those are all impressions that you catch within the first 5 seconds. So like you play the song, let's see if I can catch anything else. Yeah, the vocals are a little bit cramped as well. So we'll probably I want to bury the vocals because it is a proper punk song. And I've been, as someone that didn't really grow up doing a lot of punk or listen to a lot of punk, I've been, just because of the culture and the genre recently, like I've been doing a lot more punk for work recently, so I'm getting the hang of it now. It's been a lot of fun. What did you say? You said I like the song, but not what I listen to, but pretty much catchy already. Yeah, I fuck up the low mids often, so it gets muddy. Yeah, there it is. Muddy's not that bad, actually, depending. Muddy, another word for muddy, like if that low mid is done poorly, it can be muddy. Like if it's too much low mids, it's muddy. If it's too little, it's just, it's not powerful. It's weak. It's hollow. So you got to kind of do that in-between thing there. If you do it right, things you can describe a balanced amount of low mids as like warm or punchy even. I feel like a lot of punch comes from low mid. Depends on but that's a pretty broad term. Punch can be across the spectrum. It can also be used for dynamics as well. So we're going to get right into this. I'm going to put the microphone down. I'm going to kind of get into flow state. I'm going to mix the shit out of this song. So that's what we're going to do here. I estimate that this will take about 20 to 30 minutes. By the way, preface for this is all for a company that I work with called Get It Done Music. They focus on sync, and they send me albums at a time. So they always ask me to mix this stuff in between my bigger, more important projects. So low effort, low. They almost never, they barely ever ask for revisions. It's just like really low effort, low expectation, just like get it done right. And luckily I'm one of the few people, I feel like I'm one of the few people that in the industry that is able to take on work like this. Just because most people don't typically mix as fast as I do. So I think I'll show you exactly what the sauce is, and I'll make this shit look easy. You know how you watch I want this segment to kind of be like the Bob Ross of mixing. I want to show you that you can strategically take this down step by step. No mistakes, just happy accidents kind of thing. But we'll see how this goes. We'll fuck around, find out, get a good mix in, and get our day started. We're all caffeinated up, and took off my hat. Mixers beware. Front brimmed hats. should come off when you're mixing. It changes the sound. It funnels. You can take it off. You should be able to hear a difference. It changes the sound. Take off your hats. So I didn't fix my hair today, and that's why I was wearing a hat. But it's crazy hair day because I don't wear hats when I'm mixing. If I wear a hat while I'm mixing in an Instagram short or a YouTube video, believe me, that's staged. I just take it off. Especially like bucket hats are the worst offenders. So, yeah, remove all headwear. Let's go.
Say, cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah, let's go.
I just want to take this moment here to properly remind you that I'm a mix god. All right, for quick stuff like this, some of y'all may already know if you've been watching me for a while. I'll just keep repeating myself again, trying to categorize this, make this simple, easy to digest, like a Bob Ross kind of video for mixing. I always do bass first. Bass is always first. You got to do that first because the problem with doing bass after the drums is that you do the entire drum set, but like the most important relationship between everything is just the kick and the bass. And if you put the bass first, it forces you to do the bass and then immediately the kick drum. It forces you to get that relationship right before you even get into the snare. No time wasted, just back to back, right next to each other. Most important relationship, foundation of the song. Well, not the most important relationship, but a very important relationship. Some people like to start with vocals first, get the vocals right, but I always like to do the instrumental first, just get that out of the way. It's usually easy, and I like to spend a little bit more time on the vocals. And that's just how I've always done it. It's a bit of habit, force of habit there. Now we're going to take a look at the lead vocals, and what I do is I then turn down the entire the folder of the instrumental. I turn it down, and then I kind of just I don't solo the vocals, but I have it in the context of very low instrumental, so that way I can focus mostly on the vocal and then bring the instrumental back up after I've kind of got the tone down. And then after I kind of bring everything up, I'll focus more on the effects and things of that nature. So we're going to get into the vocal section of the song next and finish this up. We're probably about 15 minutes away from finishing this song entirely.
In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah.
All right, now that was a little disorienting. Like how thin the vocals were a little bit disorienting. I think it's very rare that you ever see a mix engineer actually turn down quite a significant amount of the top end, because it's usually the opposite. It seems like these vocals were like partially mixed already. I just think it's super imbalanced, especially expecting the instrumental that I already mixed. Again, this is something that I've learned over time. Like I mix the instrumental with the vocals in mind. And so, like, I kind of already know that that super bright thing is going to be able to punch through, but it doesn't sound natural. Doesn't fit this sort of genre. So again, here's that before and after of just the vocals.
In the world today,
super thin.
Have a say. Cut through the noises to get away.
Look at the volume too. The volume doesn't change that much.
We'll break the mold. Yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop.
I have a feeling it might be a little bit too much low mids, but we'll figure it out once we blend it in with the instrumental and kind of do some micro adjustments from there. But that's a much better starting place. You can actually hear the vocals. There's actually some punch to the vocals. There's some chest. There's some power to it. And it sounds a lot more natual. Again, here,
in the world
after,
today, we'll have
before.
a say. Cut through the noises to get away.
Just a lot of like 12K and up on that vocal is just really bright and harsh. We might add some in because that brightness does help it cut through the instrumental. But as of right now, I think I am presuming that it's too much. So we'll move on. Keep moving on.
In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the... Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go.
That's not the fucking key. Let's find it. Where is it? Is it playing anything? Oh shit. Hold on. What the heck is happening? Did I solo it? Oh. It's at least mine. Let's go.
Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with... Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
Okay, so auto-tune is important, especially on harmonies. If it's not tight, there's no point of a harmony. It just sounds really messy. And cool thing about auto-tune, I mean, I am biased since they are one of our sponsors here, but the cool thing with auto-tune is that auto-tune doesn't work unless you're a good singer, and you can change the different variables within auto-tune, the different parameters, and actually get it to sound very natural. So with a slower retune speed, with harmonies, you can get it to sound tighter without it distracting because they're just lower level. But if the lead is too auto-tune, then it's pretty easily noticed. But with the harmonies, I like to get it a little bit tighter. I don't ever use flex tune. Flex tune is just how much away from the center of the pitch it can be. Just stick with retune speed and humanize. Usually between those two, usually with those twos, you can actually make it sound really natural. And like usually between, 0 is hyper fast, glitchy kind of classic auto-tune. Like a 7 to 15 is like a semi-fast, like Chris Brown type auto-tune. You know, Ariana Grande's might be within the upper end of that. Yeah, and they should. Yeah, a lot of clients send out vocals already printed and tuned beforehand. That should be the case. In this case, somehow it got through, and I'm not approving of it. That's the cool thing about being a mixer, like to a certain degree, especially with the relationship that I already have pre-existing with this company here, is that they kind of give me a lot of creative freedom and a lot of reign to do whatever the fuck I want. Most clients do not. So if this was like a proper big label, major artist session, I would not do that. But in this case, with the relationship and the client and the rapport that we have with each other, I know that this is going to be okay. Again, that's done before the session even starts. The communication is already done. So yeah, anyway, we're going to keep going through here.
Let's go against the... No. Let's go against the flow in a system broken. We'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here in na. Let's go against the flow in a system broken. We'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rep. What's with the world today? I think we lost our way. But through the noises I heard you say that no conformity can keep your inner rebel down. No. And you say nah. What's with the world today? I think we lost our way. But through the noises I heard you say that no conformity. Let's go against the
whenever you see me mix, you might hear me say no PP here, no PP here. This is an example of PP right here. Pussy panning. No pussy panning. What are you doing going 10 degrees to the left, 10 degrees to the right? What the fuck is that? We don't go 10 degrees to the left, 10 degrees to the right. No pussy panning here. We go all the way left. We go all the way right. That's how it is. That's how you get width. We don't well, actually, it depends. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of nuance to that. I'm not going to pretend like that's the right answer every time. In this case, this is a double. It's mostly overlapping frequency. If I even want to make it even wider, here's another trick for you fellas right here. If you want to make it even wider, you get a little altar boy on each of the stems. This is it.
Let's go against the flow in a system broken. We'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
Just a little bit of format shifting.
Let's go.
Starts to take up slightly different frequencies within the...
Let's go against the flow in a system broken. We'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
It's like a 12-string guitar, you know, you gotta get it a little bit out of tune for it to like start shimmering and shining. It's the same idea like with a chorus. You gotta change up the frequencies just a little bit. That'll get it extra wide. So no PP here.
Let's go against the flow in a system broken. We'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. System broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go.
I'm not doing sends or inserts for effects on these vocals here just because mostly this is more of like a practical systems thing. James, who seems to be on the chat and YouTube. What up, James? You missed the mustache, huh? Well, usually with the lead guitar or any sort of effects here, it's just easier to print stems with later. So we'll just I just simplify it. It's like one's not better than the other. It's just a different way of thinking. And this way of processing is just more practical for our systems that James and I have in place. Shout out to James. All right.
Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Feel the show. Let's go against the flow in a system broken.
And you can actually accentuate different reverbs and stuff by just putting it on the doubles. So it kind of... Anyway, never mind, huh? Just listen.
Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. System broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside.
I mean, that's just the sound right there, like that squeezed mix bus of like a classic ratio for any sort of like rock type music. 4:1. Yeah, like 10 milliseconds auto release, get a few dBs of gain reduction in there, get that classic rock squeeze that's like very characteristic. If you use like an API 2500 type plugin, it'll get a little bit dark or different. The punch is a little bit different, especially in the low end there. So, yeah, and you'll notice I turned down the kick drum. That's probably going to be the biggest thing where it's like as someone that's not traditionally in the rock genre, I will accidentally always keep the kick drum a little bit too loud. But that's also just my preference and my sound. And so usually my mixes with rock kind of come out this in between where it's like a hybrid pop rock song. It's all just like people overthink shit. Like a lot of what we do as mixers is like practical. It's creative as well, but it's a lot of practical stuff. So. I'll show you okay, Nikki, if you're still there, I will show you what I did with the bass guitar in just a moment. What up, Evan? What up, Lou? Who else is in the chat? Everybody say hi, and I'll say hi back. Anyway, let's finish up the song here. We're finishing up here probably about 2 to 5 minutes away from finishing the song.
The flow in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with a rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. The flow in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
Let's do something I haven't done yet. This is something that I recommend. If you kind of do the vocals as a bus, process that separately, and then you do the vocal and the instrumentals and process that separately and never together till the very end, kind of like what I do. One way you can, instead of getting a second set of monitors or doing a car test to figure out how to do this, one way you can totally change the sound of your speakers or headphones just immediately without doing anything else is just turning down the volume of the speakers. We're talking whisper levels quiet. And then you can really hear the relationship because it really focuses on that mid-range balance between the vocals and the instrumental there. So what I'm going to do, you can't hear me do this because you're not hearing what's coming out of my monitors, but I'm going to turn the monitors real quiet.
With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold, yeah. Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
In this case, I actually think I got it. But that's just another way to reference, without getting a second spare speakers. When I use plugged in I don't have it right next to me right now, but I have a mono mix cube, and whenever I switched to the mix cube, I used to always just turn down the volume real quiet, left it quiet, so like whenever it switched, it was automatically real quiet. And it's mono. That's another important thing too. If you're using a mix cube, don't get the stereo mix cubes. Waste of money and not as helpful. All right. It's more expensive and it's not as helpful. It's not a waste of money. Okay, let me finish this mix bus stuff up and I'll explain the bass and the mix bus.
Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Let's go against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where...
Oh, warning, volume warning, here it comes, it's getting loud. Usually you put in another limiter, but I didn't have to this time, so here it is. And then we'll kind of switch back and forth. So this is when I'll use the reference. If the reference is louder, I'll squish it even more. You never know. Sometimes these reference productions, these reference mixes are like squished to like all hell, like -5 dBs of LUFS. And if that's what the demo is, that's what I will always send back. So I always try to match the loudness or make it louder. That's always what you should be doing if you're sending in mixes for approval. All right, let's listen.
Let's go against the flow, in a system broken. Against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Let's go against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Let's go against the flow, in a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel's pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside.
Yeah, we got a lot more body in that mix. I changed it quite substantially. In a typical mixing session, I don't try to change it as much, but this one I changed quite substantially the vibe of it. I think it's significantly more punchier. It's powerful. It's fuller. It's deeper. Don't confuse. Usually, brighter is more energy. Don't confuse. It was too bright before. It was brittle, in fact. So if you're listening and you're like, oh, I like the old one. No, don't be fooled by the brightness there. Okay, here it is. One more time, before and after you hear it.
In the world today, we'll have a say. Cut through the noises to get away. With rebellion in our heart, we'll break the mold. Yeah.
All right, and that's what happens when you have a professional mixer mix your song. I mean, this is y'all know from the podcast. If you listen to the podcast, I don't typically do rock. Even without rock experience, I can still mix the shit out of a rock song just from general mixing experience as well. And I'm not like totally blind to rock. I did grow up listening to a lot, just not as much as someone who had parents that listened to a ton of rock. Neither of my parents listened to rock. That was something I discovered when I was in high school. Don't have as much experience in. But anyway, let's answer some of these questions. I'll show you the drums or the guitar or the bass. Oh, in this case, you know what I did to the bass? Fucking nothing. Look at this.
In the world today.
Nothing. I thought it sounded good. Nothing. I thought it sounded good, so I just blended it in. Turning it down a touch, but I turned everything else down a touch, so it's kind of... And then at the very, very end, I turned it up. You'll notice I was doing like some micro tweaks there at the 500 in the guitar, and the entire bus of the guitars was a little bit much, and I want a little bit more of that like 2K-ish, so you saw me tweak a little bit of that, get the guitars to feel a little bit more like the original. So at the very end, I'm kind of tweaking to get it to sound a little bit more like the original, or like... Because the original mix demo is a great reference of what the relationships between each instrument should be. Like, is this a guitar forward song, or is this a vocal forward song? Like, those are more macro kind of ideas, but even in the micro details, there's a lot of clues that the original mix can give you, again, in order to maintain the similar vibe. They sound great. Thank you. First time ever watching a session. Do you ever stream the vocal tuning portions? As a mixer, it's not typically my job to vocal tune, but in this case, I did. I just slapped on some auto tune. It was a 30-second process. You didn't miss much. Let's see. Can I use all waves VST only for mixing? Yes, you can use only waves. I use a lot of waves. I think Plugin Alliance is a better plugin bundle, but waves is good too. Or fuck around and get both. I think Isotope is really competitive as well. Although Isotope, as far as a bundle goes, is more... It's not as cool, but it's just as practical, if not more practical. But it's not as cool because you don't get like vintage emulation type stuff. It's like really unique and modern looking, but kind of like, we're nerds here that like things to look old and grimy. So they don't have it's like that, kind of like that. They don't have any of that vintage looking factor. I don't know. But as far as practicality goes, I love Isotope. I can mix with just Isotope. I can mix with just Plugin Alliance. I can mix with just stock plugins. I can mix with just waves, but I choose to use all of them. Because I'm a pro. All right. Can you show me what I can do with EQ? Yeah, well, with the Fab Filter, you can do fucking this shit. You can do fucking this shit. You can do 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 this here. This is cool. You can also do like a tilt. Oh, hell yeah. Look at this. Tilt. Oh, shit. You can also do like a really steep tilt. Oh, wow. Oh, you can also do a flat tilt. Ooh, that's not as useful. Never mind. It's all useful. You can do a notch shit. Ooh, just cut it out completely to infinity. There's a lot of things you could do. But it's not what an EQ can do. It's about what you can hear. So, Nikki, it's not about what an EQ can do. Like, if you can't hear what you want to do, then it doesn't matter. Like, what an EQ can do and the gymnastics that an EQ can go through, it doesn't matter if you can't first hear. So it's like, with the guitars, it's like there's a little bit of 500 hertz there at the very end, so I cut it out until it sounded good, just right here. Yeah, it was like $4.99, whatever it is, 500 hertz, yeah. And if I couldn't hear that, then there's no point of what an EQ can do. So, I think the point of these live mixes as well is the one thing that like mixers trying to learn the craft like do not get enough opportunity to do is in real time you are hearing what I'm hearing, right? I mean, obviously we have different monitors and listen back systems. You might be listening to the stream on AirPods or whatever, right? And I got my nice, car's worth of speakers right here in front of me on my desk, so it's just all. This is like one of the few times you can hear exactly what I'm hearing. So if you didn't hear that 500 hertz in the guitar, I'm hopefully you'll notice that in the future, kind of a deal, and pay attention to that. So we all have the same ears. In fact, I could technically, if you're younger than me significantly, you technically might have better ears than me because you can hear more frequencies. The older you get, the more frequencies you lose. It's literally just like ear training is literally just tuning in and focusing on different elements to listen to. So as you train your ears are not changing. Your brain and your neurons are connecting and rewiring in a different way, so you pay attention to different things. So that's why it's a skill-based thing, not a talent-based thing. Except me, I was born different. I'm born different. I didn't do any training for this shit. I came out the womb ready to mix. Thanks. I am a comedian. Can you go over the mix bus compression again? I never really use it because I'm afraid to kill the mix. In most cases, especially floaty in your type of music, it might kill the mix. It might kill the mix. I'm serious. It's specific to rock that I think it works really well. Here's what it is. I could turn it on and off. It's very subtle. I mean, I'm using it pretty aggressively, so it's not as subtle as here. I'm using it pretty aggressively, so it's not as subtle as other people, or as traditional mix bus processing compression. I want that really rock squish sound, that like the loudness wars type of vibe. I kind of want the kick to be lost. You know what I'm saying? That's a very rock thing. It's with like hip hop music, with pop or like dance type music, usually like I would say 60 to 80% of the time, compression on the mix bus doesn't help. It's just different. It doesn't make it better. It's just different. And I would say that more than people, I don't know what the percentage is, but more than people realize, that's actually probably hurting your mix. But I like the sound in rock music, the way that a mix bus compression can kill the dynamics and like kind of blend and like kind of smooth things over is kind of the sound of the genre. So here it is. I'll turn it on and off. We'll listen to it together.
Let's go against the flow. In a system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show. Let's go with the rebel pride, breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside.
All right, I'm gonna put my skill on the line here. I'm gonna toggle this on and off like a bunch of times real fast. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna tell you if it's on and off. All right, everybody, watch closely. Watch closely. You want to play this game with me? Close your eyes right now. Here we go. I'm gonna loop this section here. Tell you when it's on. Tell you when it's off. Here it is.
Let's go against the flow.
Eyes are closed.
The system broken, we'll let them know. Don't stop, we'll steal the show.
Oh, I think I missed the button. Let me miss the button. Here we go.
Let's go with the rebel
Eyes closed.
breaking down the walls where they hide the freedom that's right here inside. Let's go against the flow.
That's on right there, yeah. That's right. One more time. Let me make sure that it's not a placebo here. Here we go. Eyes are closed. Eyes are actually closed. I'm looking at the camera.
Let's go with the rebel pride, breaking down the walls.
That's on right there. Hell yeah. Look at that.
That's right here
It's a little bit of like lower mid-range push. The blending of the guitars sound to like push in the mids a little bit more. The vocals kind of actually float a little bit more to the top. And it really, I don't know, there's like a pumping thing going on. It's really interesting. But it's smooth. Oh, no, hold on. Let me say that again. It's this actually use case is fairly aggressive. SSL compressors are fairly transparent, but we're going 4-to-1 on the fucking mix bus. Like, you don't do that in hip hop. You don't do that like ever in a mastering thing. That's too much. I saw there was I want to show you something humorous. I had to comment on it. I thought it was so funny. This is from a producer Instagram page. Solving the mystery: should producers master beats? And this is the clip. I'm gonna play this clip, and I'll tell you what I commented afterwards.
And also, side note, you shouldn't really master your beats from what I've looked up as well, because like it's just the instruments. The mastering is really to bring out the higher quality of the vocals. So with that being said, mastering is you should kind of aim for the upper part of the meter, more so toward the yellow and the red.
Yeah, because somebody gave me some game on mastering too. Mixing is like cleaning up the track. Mastering is like dirtying it back up. Like,
and my comment on that was, hell yeah, that's insightful. Holy shit, that's insightful. Oh, that is not even close to true on any front. So it's all right. Just do whatever the fuck you want, I think is the lesson to learn there. Because nobody knows what we're doing. Isn't that the beauty of it all? I'm just really confident that I think I know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I think we both have the same amount of know what we're doing. We're all fucking around and finding out. I mean, if there was a right way to do things, the sound of albums and songs wouldn't change every decade, like wouldn't change over time, and there wouldn't be different tastes. And here's the thing, my natural instincts, the way that I like to mix may not be cool right now, but as I get older, it might kind of culture my rap back around this way. Rock's kind of blowing up again. So it's like, okay, I might come back around this way and people want me to mix their stuff because, push the culture, whatever. Either way, so mixing is cleaning up, mastering is dirtying it back up again. And the entire point of mastering is to make it loud and get it into the yellow and the red of the meters. Sorry, it was just humorous. And it's not like a huge producer page, too. It's just like, whoa. What are you doing? Okay, let's bounce this song. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the end and the beginning. All right, and that's bouncing. Okay, any questions with that song? Any other thing? I could pull up any EQ, any compressor, any track on this one. That was super easy. I mean, if I wasn't talking to a live stream, if I wasn't talking to a camera, I mean, that would have been like a 20, 30-minute thing. Yeah, he would have. I'm trying to be more positive, I'm trying to be more positive. I'm trying to not just talk shit on people, especially now that I'm like in a position where like I'm comfortable where I'm at, like it's a waste of energy to make fun of people that are at the same place that I was at when I was starting. It's bad energy. I'm trying to do better with my karma. So I mean, I want to point it out, but I'm not going to talk too much shit about it. I think it's more of a commentary on life. I don't know. They figured it out. What am I saying? I talk so much shit. I need to be careful. I think this is more of a lesson to myself. All right, we're going to move on to the next song. No questions on this? No questions on this? Okay, I'm marking that as done. Hit save on that sucker. Ooh, One Punch Man. One Punch Man. I have my wallpaper set to like 50 different anime things, and it's always random. So I get a little sneak peek every time I pull up a new session. All right, let's listen to this song. That was a cool song, that last one. Off the bat, already better than the last one. Off the bat, way better than the last one already. I like this one already. The vocals are blended in nicely. It's not as bright. It's not as brittle. This is going to be a little bit easier. When all the walls are closing in, I know that we'll make it out alive. Playing games that I can't win. A little bit of upper mid pinch in the vocal. On this one, actually, I think it's slightly muddy around like 200 to 300 hertz. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Have a good night, Floaty. Enjoy the gym on behalf of all of us here. Oh, you already sent me the music video. Dope. I'll check it out later. Ooh, I get a little private life look into Floaty's life. Oh, you did send it to me. You know what I need to do today? I need to go on a run. I've been slacking with my running recently. And by slacking, I've been only running like 15 miles a week. I'm that TikToker that you see. I woke up at 5 this morning. Nobody else is running with me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't party. And if you think that's uncool, then I'm proud of it. Because I would rather be seen as uncool by people I don't want to be like. And I take ice baths, and I'm way more masculine, and I need to prove it by explaining what I'm doing. And I say that I don't need validation, but I'm getting it anyway because I'm posting about it. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty motivational. I like those videos, but that's also what it can sound like. But I am one of those people. You run a lot in the video? Oh, good. Heck yeah, dude. You probably ran. Nice. I want to see you run. I love watching people run, you know. Just slowly just getting tired. I love that. It's like watching flowers wilt. It's like, hey, watch these die. It's like when you give someone flowers, I think the joke is like, hey, you're telling them, hey, watch these die slowly. And that's why I like watching people run, is like, I want to see you break down over time. It's very entertaining to me. I love watching marathon runners really full of belief, and by the end of it, they're like just trying not to die. It's very dynamic. All right, late shifts, going to the gym on 6:30. Heck yeah, dude. I'm a midday runner. I want it to be 12 noon, scorching hot. My favorite runs, though, are summer rain. Not a lot of rain in California, not a lot of rain out here in Los Angeles, but when it rains, I'm outside, and you fucking know it. Especially in the summertime, it feels so damn good. So good. That summer rain run is like the fitness version of a sneeze. You know, it's just feels so good. It's not quite coming, but it's basically there. You know what I'm saying? That's what a summer rain run feels like. Just like a tight-ass sneeze. You get some phlegm out, you know what I'm saying? You're like, choo! And it's like nice and loud because nobody else is there. You know, you're not embarrassed. No social pressure to have a little quiet, tight sneeze. You want like a big, blown out, no sinus, no phlegm for a couple hours type sneeze. That is the level of joy that I feel from running in the rain. No, I will only go up, so no joy for you seeing me suffer. Damn, man. I don't want to watch a runner start to feel better during the run. You know, I want a runner to... All right, I'm gonna mix this song. Let's mix the shit out of the song. I'm sorry, I'm ranting right now. I love the comments. I'm just one goofy ass dude. That's all I am, dude. I'm an extroverted mix engineer who spends most of his time in a studio without anybody in there. I am enjoying myself, but also suffering, you know, by myself, being so lonely. Good night. Have fun mixing. See you next stream or so. All right, peace. Have a good night. Sleep well. All right, here we go. Mixing the song. Alright, first things first, we have James. Shout out to James, already prepping this mix. If you got a big session, first thing, we're going to systematize this and make this easy to digest. I'm going to hold the mic under my armpit as I do this. I'm going to click on the top track, go to the bottom track, hit shift option, and click M to mute all the selected tracks. We're going to mute all the tracks, and we're going to slowly unmute them one at a time. And you know how it goes, baby. We always start with the bass. That's the DK special right here. Typically like to start, if you're in sample peak mode on Pro Tools, typically like to start with the bass right in the middle. That's a good place. If you start right here and build on top of that, you know it's going to be right about clipping or just below clipping. You're going to get that volume nice and tight by the end of it. So this is a great place to start volume-wise. That's the only time that I ever look at the meters like that, you know. That sounds good. I like the bass tone, lots of low end. Here we go. We're going to keep going. And now we're going to slowly unmute them one at a time. You know, just like you eat your veggies, one at a time. I'm going to unmute these and mix these in. We're going to spend some time. You're going to see me struggle at times. You're going to see me use a plugin, do bypassing. I'm like, you know what? I don't like the sound of it. You're going to see me switch it out. We're just having fun here, you know. No mistakes, just dope-ass mixes. Sure. All right, here it is. All right, that's what that feels like. All right, we got most of that done. We'll do some tweaking with the instrumental in a little bit later, but for now, we're going to collapse that down. We're going to turn it down and start working on the vocals.
Right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see the light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see the light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. The light shining right in front of the light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see the light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light? The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? The light.
Sorry, my assistant James on these projects, I have to use the same plugins he has. So usually for vocals, I like to use like Magic Death Eye, especially in this scenario, but I can't use it. He doesn't have it. So just be aware that I'm not using the same project plugins I always use for different projects, but we're doing our best here. What up, Maddie Megan Music? How's it going?
The light shining right in front of you. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. The light shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night.
Hear how much more punch that vocal has, and here's the thing, we're not raising the volume that much. The sensation of the volume getting louder, we're just filling out the frequencies a bit more. That Magma does a good job filling in the low mids with the beauty part. The Beast is more upper mids, but I'm not. Okay, there's some weird stuff going in the top end. This is pretty typical for a cheap microphone. Has some weird stuff always going on between 8 to 12K, sometimes to 14K. Golfoss is kind of mixing up, just fixing that mid-range, because it seems like that mid-range is always moving on this one. Some sections he's like got a lot of 200 hertz, and some sections he's got like no 200 hertz, and that as he changes his pitch, it moves up to that 500, changes the timbre of his own voice. Rev 8 I love a lot. It's kind of got this like gritty compression, and it really helps bring in that warmth. It tames the top end a bit more, kind of adds a little bit of low mids, as well as the compression sound is really nice. Bringing in a little bit of that mid-range forwardness. This is a great part of the mid-range vocal. And this is Spectre, one of my favorites, by Waves Factory. This is not an EQ. This is a saturation plugin. So it's frequency-dependent saturation with different filters and whatnot. And each band is customizable. So right now the default I have it set on is 2, but there's a bunch of different saturation units and how hard you want to saturate it, etc., etc. And this is Rock Group. This is actually one of my favorite compressors. It sounds a lot like my analog unit that I have on my desk that I can't show you, but it sounds a lot like that. But in plugin format, I love this guy. This is from Process Audio, which is by Pure Mix. All right, we're going to keep going, finishing this up. We're going to add the doubles and all the harmonies and stuff now.
Light shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I see it. A light shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. A light shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. Can you see the light shining right in front of you?
All right, we have already big mistake here. If you are a producer, if you are a recording engineer, this is the same vocal take that was duplicated. So notice, even though I've panned them out, it sounds mono right out the center. It is the same exact thing. So what I'm going to have to do now is do some time shifting, and it's not going to sound as good as if it was just double taked. But we're going to do our best here. In fact, I could just delete one of them because the plugins that I'll use to double it up is just be careful with that. Just be careful with that. This is a good one that I have, and these are the settings that I like. This is a setting called DK's Favorites. If you want to screenshot this, I like this setting a lot for.
Can you see the light?
Here it is.
Shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night.
Fake double.
Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. Tell me, can you see?
Another thing, when you have multiple stacks of vocals, and it's good to use different wideners. So if you have different stacks, it's good to use different wideners, so you don't get the same sort of filtration, same sort of chorus type effect for each stack. So for this case, I'm gonna widen this one too, but I'm not gonna use the same ADT. I'm gonna use something else to widen it out. Probably Isotope. I like the Ozone widener. Quick question, your assistant organized this session into this template, or the producer sent this with all the tracks exported? The producer sent this with all the tracks exported, then my assistant imported the session into my template. By the way, my template is literally just this and the master one and the mix bus. That's all it is. So he created these folders, he colored it the way that I like, he renamed everything and put the original names on here, things like that. So that's his job. And then when I'm done, these are approved, he'll bounce them too. So anyway, thanks to James. Shout out to James for that one. Yeah, anyway, that's another trick. Also, if you have any S's, you want to DS the shit out of harmonies or doubles. You don't need to have multiple S's. Just one strong S is fine enough to hear the enunciation of the words. And it can get just a little confusing and it doesn't sound as good. The S's can get harsh when stacked up. So you don't need to stack S's. So feel free to DS any sort of double or harmony. I have a mono compressor here, dual mono compression, so it's compressing differently on the left and right. What that does, if you have a stereo signal with different left and right processes, then it'll compress the left side and the right side differently, but you can link the control. So it's the same threshold, same settings, it's just it's just metering the sides differently. What that does is it does two things. One, it balances the left and right, but the more you balance the left and right, the more mono it's going to sound as well. So if you're trying to... the sacrifice isn't that much. Like, it's a lot more practical to keep the left and right balance a little bit. And it doesn't like mono it out completely. Again, it's just a dynamic difference. So in a mix bus situation, I almost rarely ever do dual mono unless that's what it calls for, which is almost never. But in harmonies or things that are like totally hard left, hard right, I just want the left and right. I don't want one to stick out more than the other. It's just a good blanket compression. You'll see me use RComp when I don't care if I just want smooth compression. I don't care about any sort of tonality. This does have a little bit of a tone, but it's pretty smooth. It's pretty universal. It's really easy to use, and it just takes a couple clicks. So it's more about speed and practicality there. Okay, moving on.
Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it?
I just mono those out. I don't know why. We'll figure out if it sounds good. I don't know. I thought that little altar boy kind of added a different taste, little different set of frequencies, a little different flavor to the collage of vocal resonances there. I think it sounds cool. We'll see what happens with it. I don't know. Just following instincts. Follow-up question. Since we are producing and mixing, would you recommend after the production phase to export the tracks and organize like this and mix from there? Well, I don't know. I recommend whatever helps you get into the right headspace. So if you've never done that before, you should try it out and see if it gets you into a better headspace. I can't speak. I don't have a universal answer for that. For me, I think I do it all in the same sessions the few times. On the rare occasion that I'm writing and producing, I just do it all in the same Pro Tools session. I might do a save as. So like after the production, I'll be like final production, save as, mix 1. So I have like different stages. I don't know, but I know a lot of people that do separate it. In fact, I know some people that produce in Ableton and then totally switch DAWs and mix in Pro Tools or mix in something else. I think what's more important is getting into the right headspace. It doesn't matter, yeah. All right, we're going to keep going into these hey voxes, and then we're going to blend in the vocals and kind of get to mix plus stuff there.
One more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Hey, hey. Ooh. Hey, hey. I can see it. Hey, hey. Can you see it? Ooh. Hey, hey. I can see it. Ooh. Hey. I can see you. I can see you. I can see it. Can you see it? I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it.
Hey, sorry, vocal instrumental is coming up right now. So the next thing that you do, typically, this is a great practice. Again, just re-explaining. Instead of using different set of monitors, instead of going to your car to check it out, you can have a completely different listening reference right here. All you have to do is turn down your monitors to whisper level quiets. I like to do this for just about 10 to 20 seconds, if that, when blending in the instrumental and the vocals for the very first time. So I'm going to turn them. You can't hear me turn the monitors down, but I'm going to turn the monitors down to whisper quiet just for about 10 to 20 seconds, kind of get a different perspective on this mix. And yeah, and then I'll blend in the vocals. And because of the genre, the culture of the song, and from the rough mix, what we heard in the beginning, I have a feeling we're going to bury these vocals rather than leave them on top. That's a classic vocal mix move for rock genre. So here's me. You're going to witness me turning down the monitors really low, adjusting the levels, the generic levels of the vocals and the instrumental, and then I'm going to turn the monitors back up to the level that I always keep them at for mixing. So here it is. That's a good enough level for now. I'm going to turn the speakers back up. And now we're going to do some mix bus compression. This time I think we should go with the API. I think I'm going to want a little bit more of that warmth and punch from a 2500 type thing. We'll try the UAD version. I typically like the Waves version better for some reason, but we're going to go with the UAD version for now. See if it does what I like, and if it doesn't, we'll move back to the classic SSL sound. But hopefully, I'm thinking my instinct is saying try the API sound here. I do like what it's doing. It's very fast, very punchy. It's kind of doing this low-mid push. And pay attention to the way the low mids of the vocals and the guitars kind of blend together when it's on. Just to prove that, I know this is, I like to do this because I know that compression is for people that are starting out. It's hard to hear, and it sounds mystical. But I'm telling you, it's not mystical. It's not a fake thing. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blind test. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to tell you when it's on. Here it is.
Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you?
There it is.
When the flame, tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you?
Even when it's better level, it's still good.
When the flame is going
Actually, you saw me do a little bit of compression here, like 2 dBs, and then I was like, no, I think I want a little bit more of that flavor. I liked it so much, I wanted a bit more. The cool thing about something like this is that if I do more and I decide I don't like it, I can blend back the mix knob. So it's very low risk there. I like that sound. Let's keep moving on.
shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it.
Volume warning. If you are blasting your speaker sound, turn them down. I'm about to turn on the final limiter.
Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too?
All right, the before and after is pretty obvious. You saw me go down to also like -6 dBs of LUFS. That's really loud. It's perfect. I think I like that a lot. I kind of left the kick drum in a little bit louder. I like that. I like that vibe. I like how this turned out. It's really interesting. One thing I want to point out that you want to listen to is that the sensation of the vocals. You know how much top end I cut? How much darker I made the vocals and how much low mids I brought out. The low end of the vocals, I brought that out. Yet somehow in the mix, the vocals seem brighter. So check that out. Listen to this.
Shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night.
It's a better use of that mid-range. It's not necessarily brighter, but it sticks out more. Functionally, you make things brighter so it sticks out a bit more, but for some reason the vocals stick out frequency-wise a bit more. Not just volume, but frequency-wise a bit more in this version because better use of about 1K, about 1.5K is what I think I focused on with Spectre there. Yep, right around there, about 1K. Kind of good use of that mid-range can really help a vocal feel more present. It's not just that top end. It's not just that high shelf, boys and girls. It's not just brightness. That's the low-hanging fruit. It's all about the mid-range there.
Shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see.
I'm switching back and forth right now. I'm just kind of doing the ego boosting thing of listening to the reference mix and the final mix here. Literally super simple. I mean, you can hear it. It's deeper, it's bigger, it's wider, it's louder. It's just completely. It's just when you A/B mixes like this, one is objectively better than the other. The thing is, typically you don't A/B mixes, so you get what you hear, and you kind of have to compare between different songs, and it's kind of unfair to compare. But in this sense, we're comparing the same song with different mixes. Come on. The song wants to be powerful. The vibe of this song is powerful. It's angsty. It's loud. It's makes you want to headbang. And I think one mix makes you feel that different. Feel that. How do you know when the vocals are loud enough compared to the instrumental? Feeling based. I think it's like cultural genre cultures and rock music. You bury the vocals. I mean, I can't understand a fucking thing Kurt Cobain says in most Nirvana songs because it's just buried in. If you listen to any sort of, it's also region-based too. Like Japanese music, the vocals are always really loud. I mean, you can tell it's a country that loves karaoke because almost all of the traditionally mixed Japanese songs have vocals fucking way, way on top, more than Beyonce or Ariana Grande. So it just depends on the culture, it depends on the region, it depends on, and that's why different mixers have different sounds, is because people grew up with different music. So it's feeling based, but you also you can't be too different. It's a blend of being different, fusions of different sounds and styles. But again, the most important part is serving the song. I think that's the best answer. There's no right answer. It's just more, I feel like the good mix is the one that really makes the song be itself, the more authentic the song feels. And for this song, you don't feel relaxed. This song is not one that you feel relaxed. It's not a song that you do at a Japanese budokan and like everybody, all the girls are singing along to. Now, this is something that you rage to, but it's a little bit, so it's like I kind of did this thing where the vocals are a little bit not as buried as like a traditional like punk or like northwestern type grunge type sound. It's a little bit louder, but it's still not as loud as like a traditional pop song. So the words are coherent, but anyway, yeah, just these are all factors that you decide as a mixer. It's but I think this serves the song very well. And then also you get a lot of context from the rough mix. People don't talk about this enough. Like the rough mix is a great map for what the relationship between each track is. For example, in the rough mix, I noticed that part of the reason why I decided that the vocals are going to be on top is because the rough mix, the vocals are a little bit more on top than, in this comparison, the song that I mixed right before this, for example. So I want to maintain like the relationships that the original producer made, because at the end of the day, the producer wouldn't have sent me if they knew what they're doing, if they're worth of any salt, right? Then they did things intentionally, and I want to respect the original relationship, because they wouldn't, the files and the stems wouldn't have left their hard drive and been sent to me if they didn't at one point feel like, oh yes, this is it, we're getting somewhere. So I don't know exactly what that magic combination of frequencies or volumes or mix was or got it for them. But typically when you focus on the relationship by using the rough mix as a guide, how loud is the hi-hat? Is the hi-hat important? You listen to a Stevie Wonder song, it's 90% hi-hat, and that's the driving rhythm. And that's why I believe like in trap music, it's typically the hi-hat is really important as well. So, different genres, different cultures, different regions. But again, I would, in most cases, if the producer or the artist that you're working with is fairly experienced, even if the rough mix sounds bad, the relationship between the instruments, there's usually some sort of guide there. It's like astronomy. Like you see the stars and you're in the boat in the ocean and you're using it as a guide. Anyway, so that's part of the reason why I left the vocals on top. I felt like the guitars could be a little bit louder in context. I love guitar forward songs, and of course I love kick drum and drums. I think is just drums forward is a very American sound. You don't hear that in Japan in like J-rock songs unless it was mixed by an American and they purposefully made it sound more American. Vocals forward, drums back. So in this case, we got like a very American rock mix going with a touch of a pop vocal placement. Here it is. So one more time, before and after, you'll hear the obvious difference. So I'll start with the before and then go into after and switch back and forth between.
Shining right in front of you, holding on for one more night. through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you?
There it is. Really easy. It's real simple. It's just a little different, honestly. There's something to be said as well, like usually with like higher risk, higher level songs. Like, so this is all like low risk, low, not low effort, kind of low effort. Like we're spending less time on each song. Low expectation. There you go. So it's like low expectation. Very, very few revisions on these projects. Because it's more about we just need to get these done. It's not an artistic endeavor necessarily. With songs like this, with typical songs where they are a little higher pressure, a little bit more higher creative, it's like when you do something, when you mix the song a little bit too different than the original rough mix, it's honestly disrespectful. You're basically telling the producer that he has no idea what he's doing. For example, it's like going to a Michelin star restaurant and putting salt on your steak before you even taste it. And then the chef gets mad. It's like, what are you doing? You didn't even taste it. I don't know if that's the best metaphor, but it's the same level of disrespect. Like they did it on purpose. You're saying that they don't know what they're doing if you do too much. So that's another thing too. With stuff like this, I have the freedom to do whatever they want. The producer expects that too. They're selling this music to film and TV, so they're less, their heart's in it less, you know. But people that are the artists, or it's like it's a total creative endeavor. It's like they're really married to the song, and you want to make sure that mutual respect is felt. Okay. Anyway, here it is again one more time.
Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you?
Things actually, I'm going to change a couple things. I think I can make it better.
Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you? Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light?
Did you hear that lead synth all of a sudden come out in the demo? See, that's something that you want to notice. Da da da.
I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light shining right in front of you?
Great example of referencing the rough mix and getting great example of referencing the rough mix to use the relationship between the tracks as a guide. I noticed the lead keys. I didn't hear it all on my mix, but I heard it in the rough, so I turned it up.
Shining right in front of you. Holding on for one more night. Fight until we see this through. I can see it. Can you see it too? Tell me, can you see the light?
All right, and that's it. That's the end. I've listened to it now a few times. If I listen to it more, I'm just gonna get stuck in a cyclical pattern of never being satisfied, and that's not where we want to be. Mixing is meant to be cathartic. Done. What is done? Done is just as subjective as mixing. To be done. We're done. So I'm deciding that. And just like you can in your life, you can decide when you're done with different things. Don't need to waste energy on it more. Diminishing returns. So we're going to close this session up. Give a few closing thoughts and end this live stream. Might live stream a bit more later. Fuck around, find out. Anyway, give me 1 second. I'm going to print this down. Okay, and we are officially bouncing. I will upload these. And to get approved, these will probably get approved. I think I have a couple of revisions I need to do, but it's 12:30, which means that my youngest son is going to be dropped off by the bus. My youngest son's bus is going to be coming soon. I want to pick him up. He's 3 years old. He's a small little dude. It's so cute to see him come off the bus and just hug daddy, So I'm going to go pick him up. I am Daddy D, after all. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to do a couple of revisions offline, work on some other songs offline. I'm trying to do these more often. I appreciate the company, even if it's digital here. Yeah, I like what you're doing. Sounds heavier and wider. How do you know when the vocals are loud enough? Yeah, thank you. Follow-up question. Okay, sweet. I think I answered everybody's questions. In the meantime, before we sign off, if you have any other questions, if you want to take a look at specific tracks, let me know. Putting the hat back on now. Remember, take off your headwear when mixing. The reflections underneath the brim affect how it sounds going into your ears. It sounds different. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this segment of the mixing. Well, it's just me at this point. It's just mixing with DK. We're mixing with Daddy D. If you want to look at a session, say so now within the next 1 minute before I sign off. Grateful for everybody that showed up. Shout out to Sweaty Freak, Maddie Making Music. Call me Floaty, Alex Johnson, Nikki, Evan. Who else we got join us today? We got Lou joined in for a little bit. RDLS. I am Jet. Various bunch of different people joining us today for today's stream. Anyway, great stream, man. Got to tune into the next one. Heck yeah, thanks for joining us. All right, on that note, enjoy some game music as we sign us off. Let's go with this playlist here. Thanks for joining us. Have a great Monday. Have a great week. Happy mixing, my friends. Stay saucy. All the above. Here it is. Oh, here's some advice. Use some fucking lotion. It's wintertime. Your aunt and your uncles are worried about you because you fucking ashy as fuck. Use some lotion. All right, on that note, happy mixing, my friends, and stay saucy.